Acha, this is now quite strange. You are expecting to have a positive relationship between GDP growth and inflation, but this time this is negative. So how to interpret this? You have to check whether there is anomaly in the data, or you can change the method or something else. But basically, look, you have to learn from the data. You don't have to teach the data. The data is to guide you, but you are not the people to guide the data. Right? This is a problem. This may have some reason. You have to explore why this might happen. Maybe in some years there was very high growth but low inflation by chance. No, the theory is mainly coming from developed countries. Phillips curve theory is also coming from developed countries. So there is no issue with that. But you might have to look at the data to find out the explanation why this is happening. But you should not try to change the results. You should depend on what the data is telling you and then try to find out the explanation for this. This is wrong approach to modify the data or to change the model so that this negativity is removed. This is something which actually happened, and you should try to find out why this is happening. There is always some alternate explanation as well. For example, I have told you that the mainstream view is there is negative relationship between interest rate and inflation. Right? But what you are seeing here, the relationship is positive. This is again some kind of paradox. Basically, the same observation was observed by Gibson in 1925, and the Keynes termed this finding of Gibson as Gibson paradox, indicating that there is no theory. Similarly, Christopher Sims is a Nobel laureate, and Sims found positive relationship between interest rate and inflation. And it was also termed as puzzle. But remember, there is no puzzle, no paradox. Actually, there was a theory which is explaining the relationship, and this theory is very old. Basically, you might have listened to the name banking school theory. One of the oldest theory in monetary economics is banking school theory. This theory was given by Tom Stook. And Tom Stook was in 19th century, means I guess this theory was given in 1840s. This was the person who wrote a book, History of Prices. Tom Stook wrote the book History of Prices. Okay. Tom Stook gave the banking school theories, and one of the implication of banking school theory is if you increase the interest rate, the cost of production will go up. And if cost of production will go up, naturally the producer will shift the cost to the consumer. Inflation will go up. So theory was there, but Keynes termed as paradox, and later on when it was discovered by Sims again, it was termed as puzzle. It's neither a puzzle nor a paradox. There are the theories to explain this. And see, if you apply this theory to Pakistan, you will find another interesting phenomena. What happens if you are, look, if you are increasing interest rate, this is determining the interest rate on the government securities, the debt that government has taken. Right? If the interest rate is going up, the markup payment on government debt will go up. And what the government will do, government will increase taxes to finance the markup payments. If the taxes are increased, what will happen to inflation? It should also go up. That's very simple. Basically, the inflation is in Pakistan is a monetary phenomena, but not in that sense. It is not determined by money supply. It is determined by the markup payments. When you are listening the politicians to say half of our budget is going in debt servicing, it is not going into debt servicing, it is actually going into markup payments. Right? And markup is something which you can decide at your own. The government has the authority to determine the rate of markup. If you are going to a bank to borrow a car, and the bank offers you that you can decide the interest rate, what would you decide, lowest or highest? Lowest. But the government does the opposite. The government is doing opposite. The government has authority to charge 7% to decide 7% interest rate on its security, but currently it is 15%. And it was chosen by the government himself in the name of controlling inflation. But what happens? It is exploding the markup payments, and then to finance the markup payments, you have to impose the taxes, and these taxes are increasing the inflation in your country. So, the inflation in Pakistan is a monetary phenomena, that's true, but not in the sense that was given by Milton Friedman. This is true in the sense that the monetary policy is determining the amount of markup payment, and that markup payment is determining the inflation in Pakistan. For example, the Milton Friedman was assuming that there is negative relationship between these two, but actually what is happening in Pakistan, there is positive relationship. Whenever the markup is going up, the markup rate is going up, markup payments are going up, and resultantly inflation is also going up. So anyhow, this is how you can construct a model for inflation. And suppose, but this methodology is incomplete because I have taken only 3 theories, but if you look at the literature for inflation, you will find so many theories. And you have to take into account maximum number of theories so that you can come to some conclusion. I have told you, how many of you are students? How many of you are faculty members? So anyway, whether you are a student or faculty member, you can find a new research project by adopting this methodology, and in the area where there is already so much research. Most of the people in the world are doing isolated kind of research. They will take one theory, ignoring all other theories, and if suppose I am going to do the research on trade, I am building my theory on the gravity theory, I am building my research on gravity theory. There is some other person who is building research on J-curve theory. So output will be different. How to resolve this controversy, this kind of methodology can be used to resolve the controversy, and this will give you a paper in the area where there are so many papers already. Right? So that's it. We have learned how to make model out of the ARDL model, and now we will discuss some things about the ARDL cointegration. If you want, you can take a break for 5 minutes and then we will resume the session.